Financial inclusion refers to a situation in which individuals and businesses, regardless of their income level, social status, or geographical location, have access to useful and affordable financial products and services that meet their needs and delivered in a responsible and sustainable way. These financial needs can include payments, savings, credit, investment, insurance, and more. A high rate of financial inclusion is good for poverty reduction, increased financial stability, and economic growth. That's why the Central Bank of Nigeria, along with critical stakeholders in the financial space, has been working to bring up financial inclusion rate in the country, targeting a 95% financial inclusion rate by 2024. This is our focus on the program this week, as we engage the chief executive of a fintech giant in the country for insights. First, we have the top stories from the Apex Bank coming up shortly. Stay with us.
I see. Just hold on. In that case, let me call out my PIN. It is 41.
Uncle, please stop.
Stop what?
You're giving someone else your personal identification number PIN?
Not someone else. It's from my bank.
Please hang up, Uncle. That's a fraudster.
That's not true. But they call out my full name. I am sure this is from my bank.
Uncle, no bank is ever going to call you to ask for your personal identification number PIN, your mobile banking password, or your card verification code, CVC.
But it sounded so genuine.
Yes, hackers and fraudsters always sound genuine. But please, Uncle, don't fall for their bait. Don't respond to any phony emails, text message, SMS, and don't click on any link you're not sure of.
Even if they call your date of birth or your BVN, don't give them your security details.
If you suspect any issue with your account, please go to your bank.
Oh, I see.
This message is from the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Welcome again. Here are the top stories. The Central Bank of Nigeria has announced immediate changes to operations in the foreign exchange market. In a press release Wednesday signed by the Director of Financial Markets, Dr. Angela Sere Ejembi, the Apex Bank stated that segmentation has been abolished as all segments are now collapsed into the investors and exporters I&E window, while applications for medicals, school fees, BTA, PTA, and SMEs would continue to be processed through deposit money banks. Other changes include reintroduction of the willing buyer, willing seller model at the I&E window, use of the weighted average rate of the preceding day's transaction as the operational rate for all government-related transactions, prescription of trading limits on oversold FX positions, reintroduction of order-based two-way quotes with bid-ask spread of 1 naira, reintroduction of order book to ensure transparency of orders and seamless execution of trades. The bank also announced an end to its RT200 rebate scheme and the Naira for Dollar remittance scheme with effect from June the 30th, 2023. Operational hours of trade shall be from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. local time. The Central Bank of Nigeria Thursday, in a virtual event, launched groundbreaking reports on the situational analysis of women's financial inclusion in Nigeria and the midline evaluation of framework for advancing women's financial inclusion in Nigeria. The reports shed light on the state of financial inclusion among women in Nigeria and challenges faced in accessing financial services as efforts to bridge gender gap in financial inclusion intensifies, creating equal opportunities and empowerment for women. Reports showed that gender gap in BPN enrollment rates reduced from 12% in the year 2020 to 5% in the year 2021.
As part of a national mandate to achieve 95% financial inclusion in Nigeria by 2020, the Central Bank of Nigeria, in collaboration with several stakeholders, launched the framework for advancing women's financial inclusion in Nigeria to address the financial inclusion gender gap. Since its launch, the framework has sought to close the 8% gender gap in the country, leveraging on 8 strategic imperatives ranging from intentional account opening measures for women to financial and digital literacy efforts, improving delivery channels to reach more women closer to their homes and businesses, and development of tailored DFS and fintech solutions to support product uptake by women. Progress has indeed been made towards achieving parity in access to financial products and services, but gender gaps still persists. In order to track against set objectives of Framework for Advancing Women's Financial Inclusion in Nigeria, FAWFIN, the Gender Center of Excellence, in collaboration with the Central Bank of Nigeria, have commissioned the following reports: a situational analysis of women's financial inclusion in Nigeria, and a midline valuation of the Framework for Advancing Women's Financial Inclusion in Nigeria. These documents will provide new insights into the successes and drawbacks for achieving women's financial inclusion in Nigeria, and provide recommendations for driving improved women's inclusion towards 95% financial inclusion in the country.
The Central Bank of Nigeria is on a race towards achieving a financial inclusion rate of 95% by next year. Two reports were launched at a virtual event yesterday, showing progress made in bridging gender gap in financial inclusion in the country. Fintechs are bridging the gap for the unbanked and underserved population, but can they do more to accelerate the financial inclusion rate? We spoke earlier with the Chief Executive Officer, eTransact International PLC, Mr. Niyi Toluwalope, for his perspectives.
We have joining us Mr. Niyi Toluwalope, the Chief Executive Officer, eTransact PLC, one of Nigeria's leading payments technology companies. Thank you for joining us on the program today.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's always an exciting time and opportunity to speak with the media on issues affecting electronic payments, digital payments, financial inclusion, and whatever it is we need to talk about to continue to move Nigeria to that desired state of becoming a full digital payments and transaction processing nation. So I'm excited. Thanks for the opportunity.
All right. Financial literacy, as the knowledge of how money works, is crucial to enhancing financial inclusion in any society. What is your assessment of financial literacy in Nigeria?
Well, interesting. Very good question. If you, I don't know to what extent that data is publicly available, but in a recent survey, by the central bank, it was discovered that a little over 32% of people who live in the urban areas are financially literate. So 68 to 70% are still not financially literate, not financially savvy, while those in the rural, area was as high as 49.22%. This clearly demonstrates that there is still a lot of work to be done because financial literacy is a critical factor to financial inclusion in Nigeria. The average Nigerian needs to understand the place of, investment, savings, insurance, credit, risk, and, setting financial goals and planning for the future and how to make, financial instruments work for them. We are aware that, the CBN in conjunction with some deposit money banks are already creating awareness of financial literacy, and fintechs and super fintechs like eTransact, have been leveraging, our product offering, service offering as a means, to drive financial literacy, financial inclusion, financial knowledge, financial transactions across the nation for the past 20 years. I think this is gradually, bringing more inclusivity to the financial sector and, gradually expanding the knowledge of financial technology transactions and what people can do with it, across the country. So that's my initial perspective on this.
Okay, now, so as you rightly stated, financial inclusion entails banking services, credits, investment, insurance, and more. But banking services such as payments and savings are the basics that many customers have access to. Why do you think this is? And how can fintechs bring innovation into other areas like investment and insurance for a robust financial inclusion in the country?
Yes, absolutely. Banking, savings, banking, those are the very basic, what I'll call first level, of financial transactions. You need to spend money. For you to spend money, you need to have money. For you to have money, you need to have where you store money. So those are the basic things that are usually the first set of services to be tackled in a financial transaction process flow. So that's what everybody does on a daily basis, whether you're financially included or not financially included. I'll share some data with you shortly while we look at what real, financial inclusion is, who's financially included, and what the potential can be if this thing is well done. Fintechs are already driving innovation in the financial services ecosystem, with massive collaborations with the banks. So a lot of the things you talked about, investment, credit, insurance, real estate, they're already happening, but they are still happening with those that already have knowledge of banks, those that are already financially literate. The banked. Every time we talk about the banked, we talk about the underbanked, we talk about the unbanked. The banked and underbanked have this knowledge. A lot of products, eTransact has powered several solutions to service providers that drive investments, that drive credit, that drive savings, that drive even stockbroking, buying shares. A lot of these things happen, but they happen in the bank sector. So these are people that already have the knowledge of these things, are already savvy. Okay, as a fintech, like I said, we have created a lot of solutions that have revolutionized banking using the unstructured supplementary service data known as USSD, agency banking, healthcare services, insurance, utility, transportation. Some of the things we do with Lamata in Lagos State. These are things that are already happening that have gone beyond banking, services, savings, and payments. But the big thing that needs to happen is to learn how to sell additional solutions and services, just beyond savings and payments to the general population, which is a good thing where we started this conversation, financial literacy. People need to understand that these products exist. They need to understand how to use these services. They need to be enabled to use these services. And the services and solutions must be available and must be quick and easy to deploy so that it's convenient, it's user-friendly, it's stable, it's accessible so that people can continue to use it over and over again.
It's very nice to know that the disruption that fintech brought into the financial space has gone beyond payments and savings, as you explained. Now, insurance is a big thing in other climes. Why do you think insurance has not really been broken into by fintechs in Nigeria?
Oh, wow. I think, when you say insurance, there is the industry, the insurance industry, those that take the risks, those that collect the premiums, and those that take the risks, and those that make payments when insurance do crystallize. Those are licensed by the regulatory framework of insurance business. Now, they can either partner with a fintech to make that process of identifying insurance customers and digitizing the process of paying premiums and making claims, making it accessible, to mom and everybody everywhere. That already exists today. If you go back to my previous response, it just needs to scale beyond the tech savvy. It's pretty much the tech savvy, those that have knowledge today that make use of these solutions. We've partnered with industry players and developed an insurance marketplace where people can go in and identify insurance products and buy insurance products. But like we've said, it's still those that know about these things that use it. The more financial literate Nigerians become, the more they understand what is available, the more they know how to use what is available. Then the onus is now on fintechs to ensure that continuous improvement, we continue to deploy and retool and tweak our solutions and services so it's convenient, it's user-friendly, it's stable, it's always available for people to use. Insurance is a big business for fintechs. Fintechs are already supported. Fintechs may not take a position as an insurance company because that's a regulatory, you need regulatory licenses, you need certifications to do that. But doing what we know how to do, digitizing processes, automating processes, and making it easy for merchants, insurance companies to reach their customers, and making it easy for customers, the insurance buyers, to reach their merchant insurance companies. That's what we do, and we're already doing it for a few of the top insurance companies and brokers in the country. But like I said, can we do more? Absolutely. We can blow these things up so that it's available, convenient, and easy to use by the time we're able to fully penetrate the entire landscape of Nigerians who actually deserve and need these services once we're able to break the financial inclusion, financial exclusion conundrum.
All right, that's good to know. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has a financial inclusion rate target of 95% by 2024. What do you consider as major hurdles before the CBN to achieving that target, and what solutions do you prefer?
Well, I think the biggest issue, not just CBN, I'm an operator, we are the industry, the biggest issue is trust. Trust. And trust drives how intense your adoption can be. You know, people need to trust the process. They need to trust the service. You know, you're trying to do a transaction. Even you and I, as savvy as we are, we're trying to do a transaction. It's not going through. I can't open the app. I can't download the app. I can't do this. I can't do that. You know, the frustration that comes with that, you know, we will always try again because we've seen it work. We know it works. But someone you are just trying to recruit and deploy into that process, their first experience has to be seamless. If their first experience is not seamless, you break it creates trust issues. They don't want to use that service. They are not interested. I think that's the biggest deal. And what's driving this? Infrastructure. We need to continue to invest in infrastructure as a country. We need to continue to invest in infrastructure as an industry. We need to continue to invest in infrastructure as operating entities. Because you go to other parts of the world, transaction activity, you don't even know sometimes when you've done a transaction. You know, when you've made a payment, when you've accessed the service, it's done, seamless, convenient. We are quite advanced in this side of the world with the type of solutions we try to solve, the type of solutions we build to solve the type of problems we have here. We're quite advanced, but that infrastructure gap, you know, is still there. And I think that is still a major problem. It's been addressed, but, you know, it's money, it's investment. With all the new things happening with the dollar, I think we're going to see a lot more dollar investments coming into the country, you know, either by cash, either by money, either by assets, either by, you know, whatever it is. So I think that infrastructure issue will definitely be addressed within a short time frame, you know. But if the infrastructure is right and we can create the right awareness, then, you know, there will be adoption.
Okay, so because you mentioned the issue of trust earlier, and I want us to deepen that further, because for financial services offered online, we have seen that issues of excessive interest rates, investment scams, cybersecurity threats, and privacy concerns have been few of the reasons why many people sometimes do not trust financial products, services, or even the service providers. What advice do you then have for consumers?
Well, consumers should always do their due diligence. You know, it's so easy for anybody to just buy, you know, a block of SMS blasts and start advertising, collect money. You know, let people do their due diligence and avoid all these get rich quick schemes of take 500K is waiting for you, 300K is waiting for you, because Nigerians need money. Everybody needs credit. I need credit. You need credit. There's so many ideas I have that I would like to have access to funds to do. And same as you. So once you see these opportunities to access credit, you want to jump on it. But how many of them are authentic? Trust me, the ones that are authentic and they work. But it's just doing your due diligence properly and be sure that this thing I'm going for is authentic, so that it's not a scam. I don't lose out of it. Because the CBN licenses these companies. You have to check, are they licensed? You understand? You have to also check. Just do your due diligence, consumers. That's all I would say. Do your due diligence. Let's not get carried away with the terms. You should always do that double check. If this feels legit, do you know any other person that has used this service? Are they reputable? You go on the CBN portal. There's a part on the CBN portal where you can check the licensed institutions to do some of these things. If they are licensed, at least you know that if it goes bust, you have the regulator that will come and protect you. So those are some of my initial guidance with consumers. Let's not be too much in a hurry to jump on the terms, because the terms always look nice. Trust me, I've seen some of these things and I just laugh. But I promise you, the ones that are authentic, they create serious value for consumers. So let consumers not stop accessing these schemes, but let them do their due diligence and double click and double check before they sign into anything. Otherwise, the rest is history.
All right, finally, before we wrap up the session, fintechs are bridging the gap for the unbanked and the underserved population. But considering the fact that many of those people live in the rural communities and are excluded due to lack of digital literacy and language barrier, because sometimes the digital services are offered in English language. A lot of people in the rural communities would rather have those services offered in their indigenous language so they could also be included. How can fintechs intervene?
That's a very good point. But, then again, I think fintechs are already intervening in this. As far back as, it's interesting you say this, but as far back as 2012 or 2011, when eTransact launched Pocket Money, that's the mobile money wallet, the first that was launched in this country. We had Hausa, Igbo menus as well. So, it's already happened. But the education, the financial education that has to come with understanding what is available and how to use it is critical, which still goes back to your first question of financial literacy and why we need to tackle that. If you solve the financial literacy problem, you will also help with the financial inclusion with the financial inclusion problem, because you can kill two birds with one stone, a double-edged sword. You make people understand what's available and you let them understand how to use it. It's very simple, okay? But it requires work.
Mr. Niyi Toluwalokwe, I must thank you very much for your time and your insights on the program today.
Absolutely.
That's all we have from the CBN this week. Be careful not to fall for any fraudulent recruitment portal or loan scheme advertisement purportedly from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Get your information from trusted sources always. Report unresolved banking issues to the CBN Consumer Protection Department using the email cpd@cbn.gov.ng. Attach relevant documents. Call the CBN Contact Center on the phone line +234 700 2255 226. Local call rates may apply. Write to us through the email address fromthecbn@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter for updates and to watch up-to-date episodes of the program. We invite you to join us again next time. I'm Mulia Misi Dada. Stay safe and bye for now.